you can probably tell, or I don't know if you can, but from my first video that I'm in a totally different setting right now. That is because it's time for us to talk. Alright, so let's talk. So I'm just gonna throw this out there that I might start crying, so this is like your warning. And it's gonna be really personal, and some people probably won't like it because it's so personal, but I need to share my story with the people that have been following me through the TTC journey. Like, I feel like you guys have a right to know what's going on. Okay, so you know I'm in the new surroundings. So Donnie and I have decided to divorce. I'm not sure, I guess he just like completely wanted out. I'm just reading some stuff off my phone because I had to, all my thoughts I just had to put down before I forgot. So yeah, like I said, I don't know, he just wanted to come, you know, completely out. A couple of days later, my divorce papers came in the mail, and I was off work that weekend, this Saturday and Sunday, because I was at work, and it was like maybe 4:30, and he texted me, and he's like, your papers were here. So as soon as I saw that text, I started crying, and I was like my eyes were watering, and I was like, I need to go use the restroom. So I went in there, and I cried, and like, why would you tell me that, like, while I'm still at work? I'm sorry. Like, I don't even know. And I told him I would sign the papers that weekend because, like, I was doing it for him. And he kept saying, like, oh, we tried to work it out, but it didn't work. Like, we didn't work on anything. He didn't go to counseling with me, and then one time he did, he lied, and I told the counselor that he's lying, and she's like, no, you need to believe him. But you know your own husband, you know? And, so I told him, you know, that I would sign the papers that weekend. And I didn't want to, but I was doing it for him so he could go. So I was letting him go. And then he would say things that I'm like, he'd say like, and he kept nagging me like all weekend, like, are you gonna sign him? Are you gonna sign him? You said you'd sign him. Are you signing him yet? Did you sign him yet? Did you sign him yet? And then I got my papers, and I went in my room, or I went in our room, and I sat like I'm sitting now, like I sat against our bed, like in this little bed, like I sat against our bed, and I was just staring at it, that we didn't agree to fight on anything, like everything was half and half, the house was still going to be in my name, like we're not selling that yet, and I was just sitting there. And I finally signed them, and I knew as soon as I signed my last name, that it was over. And I went in my room and I cried all night. I cried all night. The next day I took a personal day from work because I was seriously crying all night. I don't think I've ever been so heartbroken. But I'm still so heartbroken, but I'll explain that to you later. Yeah, I took a personal day of work the next day because I was in so much pain, like I was in physical pain. I think like I had a headache, and my sinuses were like just killing me, and I was just, had so much anxiety, and I couldn't handle it, and I obviously still can't. And then he told me I had to leave because he said either you move or I move, and I couldn't afford the house by myself, so I had to move. my parents were already living in Southern California, so I had no other choice but to go live with them because my brother just got married like 2 weeks before, like a week before, and I couldn't ask him to do that for me, to let me stay with him. And I thought I had good friends down the street, but they didn't help me out either, even though they had a spare room and, you know, I paid my rent and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, when he told me I had to leave, every day when I came home from work, he was like, did you find a job down there yet? Did you find a transfer? And I was like, nope, not yet. Then he would say, well, you better find something because you can't stay here anymore. So I did end up finding a transfer, and sidebar, I'm sorry, this is all over. So yeah, I did end up finding a transfer, and I got the call. I had a phone interview, and I got the call that I got the job, and as soon as I hung up the phone, I started crying. I just started crying because I knew it was reality. Like, it just hit me like, I have to go now. Like, I have to. It's not like, oh, you didn't you didn't get the job or anything. It's like, I have to go now. Like, I've been at this job for so long, just to not go is, and I was also crying because I had to move on. I had to leave in 2 weeks. Like, I lived there for 20 years. I had to leave my life, my 20 years of my life, like middle school, high school, like getting married. Like, I had to, my friends that meeting my best friend and meeting Donnie, and like my whole life after 20 years, I had to leave in 2 weeks. And that was hard. Like, I had to, and up till then, like, I was working all the way up till I left. My last day was a Friday, and I started my new job on Tuesday. Like, I had 3 days. And I had to go because Donnie wanted me gone, and I had nowhere to go. Except to my parents. So, September 6th, I woke up at 5 a.m. No, 4:30. I woke up at 4:30 a.m. Packed everything, anything that fit in my car was all I took. I couldn't take anything else. And whatever's was left there, I had to get donated or I got rid of it. But anything that was super important to me, like that meant the most to me, would have to fit in my car. So I just put everything in my car. And I started crying again, and I gave Johnny a hug, and then I just started bawling. And I said, I love you. Like, we were just hugging, and I love you. And he said, I love you too. And we said our goodbyes. So I got in my car with my car full of stuff. You know, whatever I had in there was all I had. And I got my dog, who had to leave her little dog family. I got my dog. And I looked back behind me and said, goodbye, I love you. He's like, love you too. And I left. And I had my dog next to me in the passenger seat, and we started off for our 10-hour drive. So here I am going through this like heartbreaking video with my ugly cries about that moment. I was driving away. I'm gonna throw in a video right here, and this is like my ugly cry. This is literally me leaving 30 seconds, like right after I left, like 30 seconds. I just had to record my feelings, and this is how they are. So I'm gonna put the video in right now. Oh, good morning. It's 5:03 in the morning. Can you see me with the lights off? No. It's so terrible moving because my little girl, my dog, it's never gonna see her dad or her brother and sister again. never see Donnie again. I'm so... My heart is so freaking broken right now. I can't even handle it. So on the way down, we stopped a few times. I let my dog go to the bathroom and go for walks. And in the car, I kept looking over at my dog, and she had no idea what was going on. And she just lost, like, her family, her dog family. I had 2 other dogs, like a boxer and a chihuahua that were her family. And that makes me really sad. And then finally, I finally hit Southern California traffic, and it was, so hard to even talk about. It took me like another hour, but I finally made it to my parents' house after driving all day. Let me see my notes here. After driving all day, I got on my dog, I unpacked my car, and I changed. We hopped in my mom's car and we went to Disneyland, and I got my annual passport. So I'm going to throw the picture in here. Then I started my job 2 days later. And any day off I had, I went to Disneyland, and I took some vacation time, but during the vacation was my 5th wedding anniversary. And Donnie didn't say a word. And I was talking to him, like I turned around twice on the drive here. And I was like, I can't go back home. This is what Donnie wants, and I need to do it for him. Do it for him. I have to be selfless and give him what he wants. So yeah, like any chance I had, I would go to Disneyland because I had my pass, and I didn't want to think about anything. And then, like I said, during my vacation, it was our anniversary, and I just kept going to Disneyland all the time because I did not want to think about anything. And then, about 2 weeks ago, Donnie came down and brought the rest of my stuff, which was only like a chair and my bed, not much stuff, because he said, like, you said if I moved your stuff down and got your tattoo removed, that you would sign your divorce papers, which, yeah, I remember that. And I am getting this removed. It's going to take 1.5 years. And then, so after he moved my stuff down here, I went to Disneyland because I just don't want to think about anything. I never gave myself a chance to grieve. Like, that's how I feel. Like he's dead. Like, I won't ever talk to him again. And I still haven't given my chances myself to grieve. Like, I cry a lot. And this all happened within 3 months. Middle of August was when I signed my divorce papers, and now it's the middle of November. It's 3 months that... Can't believe it's been so long. Or so not long, but so short amount of time that I had to do everything in. And a few weeks ago, I was like, if you want me out of your life, just tell me. And he said, yes. And I said, okay. And he's been talking to this girl. He met this girl from a dating site, like, on my birthday. And on my birthday, he didn't even say happy birthday to me. He didn't even talk to me. But he met a girl from a dating site, and they went 4x4ing. He took her to a Halloween party. He took her inside my house. And I made the mistake of looking at our cell phone bill, and he talks to this girl every night for 2.5 hours, or sometimes even over that, every single night. And I don't understand why he moved on from me so fast. Like, someone once told me that if a guy is with a girl for so long and he just jumps into another relationship with a girl, that one is not gonna last, and I should have known that it won't work out. And another part I don't understand is that we agreed on a legal separation. Like, that is what that is what I expected coming in the mail. But instead, I had to get divorce papers. I don't understand, like, and even on Halloween, I was like, oh, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm just at home, I have to work early tomorrow. He was out with her on Halloween, and I said, so when I talked to you on Halloween night, you told me you were at home because you had to be at work early the next day. He's like, yeah, I was out with that girl and her daughter. And I didn't want to upset you. He was lying to me in front of that girl. Like, and any girl who's dating a married man, I don't even care who you are. You could be the greatest person ever, but any girl can agree with me. If you're dating a married man, like, what the f is wrong with you? Sorry for my language, but like, what the hell is wrong with you? And we got along so much better as like friends and when we hung out, but when we had to talk about married stuff, that's where we always argued. It's always like she's always writing him like, I miss you so much. And then like tonight they're going to the movies at 7. And like, she just writes all this stuff like, oh, I miss him, I miss you, and like all this stuff. I'm like, that's not what friends do. Oh, and on that Halloween party night, one of my friends saw them holding hands at Rite Aid. Like, and he's like, we're just friends, and she grabbed my hand, so I held it. And then I just find out today that they're going to the movies because she has to post that on his Facebook, so I blocked her and I deleted him and blocked him. I don't know why I do this to myself anymore. Like on Facebook today it was said, I can't wait to see you tonight, I'm so excited. And he's like, he replied back, he's like, I'm excited too, and that just puts a knife right through my heart. I don't know why I keep doing this. I'm sorry. I don't know how people deal with pain like this because it was both our faults. Why? Like, I yelled at him, he yelled at me, and he would tell me to stop. Like, he'd be like, leave me alone right now. And I never left him alone. I just kept pushing. I told you this was gonna be real and everything. And I'm sorry if you think this is too personal, but you can turn it off. But so that's where I am now. A divorce, living in an apartment now with my dog and a cat and a couple fish. I lost my home. It's so hard to give somebody something that you don't want, but you did it for them. You do it for them. And tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so this is like the hardest time because you don't have the holidays, and I was always so thankful. Every holiday when we would say grace, I would say I'm thankful for my husband, for him always taking care of me. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up and not have anyone to say Happy Thanksgiving, or Christmas time is going to be the worst. Who am I going to say Merry Christmas to? I used to wake up every Christmas for 5 years and say Merry Christmas. It is the worst pain I've ever felt. I even got a chicken soup for the soul book about divorce and recovery, and I can't even read it because of all the divorce stories that say how these people loved each other and then they got divorced, but then it got better for them, and I'm still stuck in the divorce phase, and I have decided that I'm not going to remarry again or have kids. So, because I never wanted to have kids past 30, And those of you that are like past 30 and you have had your kids, I mean, that's awesome. But my decision is, I always tell myself, if I ever got to 30, I won't have any kids, because I don't want to be 30 years older than my kids. Because I wanted to have kids young, like 20 and 21. Like, I really wanted kids young, to be like married and have kids young so I could be close in age with them. But I've decided that I'm not going to ever remarry or have kids, and that's my decision. And you know what, I'm not sorry I made this video, because it shows real emotion and real pain and real sorrow and like an absolute broken heart that somebody you made your world, your entire world, and did everything for and always thought about and always considered them and always wondered how they were doing and always worried about them, that they could just throw you away. So, anyway. So, that's it, guys. That's where I am now. So, don't be sad for me. And I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving tomorrow, okay? And remember what you're thankful for, because it might be taken away from you. So always be thankful for every single day that you're given.